Good morning and welcome back to the second weekly Commander's List video description. Thank you everybody that gave me some really good feedback. I think probably the most frequent feedback was that you guys wanted the coins a little bit closer to the camera. So with that being said, we're going to make an incremental change and go ahead and start us off this week. Happy about this week's offerings. Really having a hard time digging up nice coins. I pass on 90% of what's offered at least, and of that, how many of these actually make the Commander's List, and don't go to wholesale? I don't really know what the stats are, but nonetheless, coins are really hard to find, especially really nice coins. So with that being said, as a little bit of a caveat about why there's not more, let's go ahead and get started. So first this week is a very common but very lovely, for a type example, proof 3-cent nickel. This coin, nice high-end, proof 66, definitely a proof. Didn't really make 7 because it just has a little bit more of that mint state look to it, not quite as hard of mirrors, especially under original toning as you would expect. If you're looking for a type coin though, really hard to imagine finding something nicer, especially at arm's length. Almost no toning, but it does have like a nice original haze to the coin. I'm going to try to remember to get this thing a little bit closer and try to keep it in focus. Saw after I bought this coin that it had sold in a David Lawrence auction recently, but I think I'm offering it at the same price or less than what it sold at that auction. Next up is probably one of my favorite coins from this group because it represents a date that I'm always on the look for. The last date in the series for the Stars obverse dime. This is one of those jewels that when you do find, you just should buy. It really comes down to that. There's PCGS estimates there's only 400 in all grades. That's probably a little low. I think that there's probably more than that. I will say that the CAC population is right on though. It's at 32. I think there's only 5 in XF. This coin is just really hard to find, unmessed with, unmolested, and with good eye appeal. And this coin has all of those sort of things. I bought this coin raw. Had a little schmutz right there. You can kind of see right there on the leaves. I didn't take it off. I could have easily taken a Q-tip and some acetone. It would have come off. But this coin's super crusty, super original. I expected it to grade 45 CAC, and that's what it did after going to the slabbing service and then over to CAC. Next up is a much more common coin, but pretty cool, in an old fat slab holder. Found this recently. This coin's a 4 all day. Would be willing to bet anybody that if you cracked it out, PCGS would call it a 4. It has that old-timey kind of look, kind of semi-PL look as well. This sat probably in an envelope for a while, but this kind of has like an old-time dealer stock look that you get. Coin could be cracked and dipped, make it blast white, but I like it is in this old holder. Pretty neat piece. Be really cool to try to assemble a complete set in holders like this in Mint State 63. Yeah, good luck. All right, next up is a non-CAC coin. In fact, the next two are. I don't offer a lot of non-CAC coins because I tend to like my customers to buy CAC stuff. But really what it comes down to is what I support, and this is a coin that I support. So John, I think, probably didn't like this coin because maybe he thought that it had a Clorox treatment, or maybe it was, after a cleaning, maybe. I just always look for VFs whenever they have luster. This coin, you can see the cartwheel luster around the stars is a VF20. It's got a nice look, a little bit dark, but I don't think usually when you Clorox treat a coin, you get the darkness that goes into the luster as well. Maybe he just thinks it's cleaned and retoned, but I love this coin, like it, offering it as a Commander's List with lots of support. If you ever were to bring this coin back to me, sure to please. Really nice looking. And then, not to repeat my woes of not getting a coin CAC that I thought that should, but here is one that I got. This coin, to me, is a 65B coin or better all day. Got lovely kind of light blue toning right there on the periphery. I think Liberty's hand is good enough to be a 5. No real major contact marks. Golden, purple, and blue toning around 5 o'clock to 8 o'clock. And really a nice looking kind of semi-key later date walker. Certainly not super rare, but a lot better than one of the 40s dates. And an old green label holder. Nice looking piece. And finally, common date, but cool looking gold CAC coin that I bought the other day. Was really happy to buy this piece. Dealer that sold it to me, I think, underpriced it a little bit, to be honest. This is a great piece to kind of look at about how 81S's come with different fabric on them. So with this coin, it kind of has that look. You don't see it as much in the video, but kind of that concave sort of surface look to it without the frost like you see on some 81S's that are just absolute frost monsters. A little bit of just original toning starting to go on there. So this is not a completely blast white coin. The reverse is. You can see a little bit of the texture difference between the obverse and the reverse. If you're looking for a nice gold CAC kind of trophy coin, here it is for you. That ends this week's list. Thank you all again. Again, any more feedback, I'd be happy to hear. Hope you're enjoying these, and I hope this helps you decide whether or not to make a purchase. Out here from Silicon Valley.